Here we go again. Las Vegas Raiders and Los Angeles Chargers for the second time this season. This time wasn't like week 18 of last year where the loser had to go home for the playoffs, but it was a big game with plenty on the line. The Raiders got off to a horrible start going 2-7 and 0-6 in one-score games. The Chargers started out 5-4 and 4-2 in one-score games, but with this win over the Chargers, the Raiders have won 3 one-score games in a row, while the Chargers have lost 2 of their last 3, all one-score games. So the Chargers seem to be going the wrong way while the Raiders are on the right path, and it showed Sunday. Both teams have injuries, so no excuses. This big Week 13 win, their third straight, gives us a few things to take away from it. Takeaway number 1 is the Raiders have a bright future no matter how high or low they finish in the standings this year. They took their lumps early this season, and that may have ruined their chances to make the playoffs this year. They're holding on to slim playoff hopes right now, so we'll see. The thing is, the team went through all kinds of adversity while expectations were higher than they've been in a long time. So questions like, did McDaniels lose the locker room, arose. Then there were questions about McDaniels' relationship with Carr and how long will Carr last. We've heard plenty of that over the years, haven't we? Then came the press conference where Carr cried to make many believe his days were really numbered. Then what happened? The team rallied around him and the Raiders won 3 straight with Waller and Renfro out. The offense is going to be unstoppable when they're back. The fact that the Raiders went through what they went through and are starting to come out of it on the other side tells us they never stopped believing. So all the doom and gloom is over with. The Raiders now have a head coach, a coaching staff, a quarterback, and a core of players they can win with. Takeaway number 2 is interior defensive lineman Jerry Tillerys is already having an impact. It wasn't that long ago that I wondered if the Raiders were tanking for Georgia interior defensive lineman Jalen Carter, but for doing the right thing, they were awarded the talented 2019 first-round pick after he was waived by the Chargers, who didn't know how to use him. The Raiders actually have a pass rush outside of edge rusher Max Crosby now. Tillerys already had a profound impact on the Raider defensive line. Before, it was Crosby or no one was sacking the quarterback for the Raiders. So when Crosby couldn't beat a double or triple team, there was no hope. But now some of those double and triple teams have to go inside because Tillerys is the closest man to the quarterback, so he's the most dangerous. He also traps the quarterback by not giving him anywhere to step up or run and chases him right into edge rushers for sacks. That's how Chandler Jones, who's come alive lately, had 3 sacks Sunday. Crosby's benefiting too, but his sack was taken away because quarterback Justin Herbert recovered and advanced a fumble on the play. Bilal Nichols is picking his play up too because his position is threatened. Takeaway number 3 is McDaniels has figured out his winning combination on offense. Don't get me wrong, Renfro and Waller will still be important pieces to the offense, but the pecking order has been established. It all starts with superstar receiver Davante Adams. The Raiders couldn't do much with the ball in the first quarter, giving it to Jacobs and throwing it to everyone but Adams. That formula gave the Chargers a 10-0 lead after a quarter. Then the Raiders started getting Adams involved. They moved the ball and Jacobs took advantage of a light box on a 20-yard touchdown run. Jacobs' running then led to shots down the field off play action and flea flickers. From the point that Adams got involved, the Charger defense seemed to always be wrong about who to focus on in a given situation. So the pecking order starts with Adams, the guy they fear the most. Then it goes to Jacobs because he makes the defense put the 8th man in the box so you can't double Adams. From there it goes to Waller because he's a matchup nightmare that can hurt you down the field. Then it's 3rd and Renfro. What an offense that's going to be when they're all together. The Raiders are still holding on to some slim playoff hopes right now. They're ranked number 10 in the AFC right now and only 7 teams are going to the playoffs. But regardless of how that works out, there are very high hopes for the future for this team. This coaching staff and core of players are showing they can get it done. So if their bad start ultimately costs them the playoffs this year, next year is a year to look forward to. The offense is getting there and Jerry Tillerys is going to make a big difference on that defense. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.